Hi, I'm Jesse Hilbert.
Hi, I'm Charlie Herbert.
And welcome
to Arnavon
Adventures. Charlie, today's episode can be found in a few different species of maple trees in their larval stage, but as an adult, you might find them soaring around.
As a kid, you might not find them around.
You might not, but you might. And what do you always tell people?
Can you guess what it is?
This is Season
2, Episode 14.
The Sherbet Flyer. Well, today's episode brings us to the world of the rosy maple moth.
Rosy maple moth.
Now, this is a much more brightly colored moth than most people are used to. It certainly stands out in a crowd, you could say.
Crouchy.
Their scientific name is Dryocampa rubicunda. Its genus has a Greek origin and comes from two different words, dryo, meaning oak tree, and campa, meaning caterpillar. And its species, rubicunda, comes from the Latin for red or to be red. So that kind of is a fitting name, right? Although it says oak, but it's maple. But, you know, it's in the right ballpark.
Like my nails, because they're red.
You did paint your nails red, yeah. Now, Char, this species was first described by do you know what species you are?
No.
Yeah, you do. Homo sapien. Good. Now try this.
And
what?
Like, I tried to pick cucamelons at the garden.
You did pick cucamelons today, and they are delicious. All right, now you ready to find out who found this one? Describe this one first, Char. It was first described by Johann Christian Fabricius, who, if you have listened to the podcast in the past, then you've heard his name before. These moths are native to eastern and central North America and can be found as far north as southern Canada all the way down to Florida. That's a pretty wide range.
Down to Florida to Mexico.
Mexico would be on the other side. Florida would be as far as we could.
Because then it's on the other side of the road.
It'd be a very long road, yeah. Now, Char, they're found in the temperate forest found in these places. This is due to places. That's due to the fact that their favorite host plants thrive in temperate forests. The maple trees. Do we have maple trees in our yard? Yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah. Now, what?
They really don't come down unless it's winter.
Who?
The maple trees.
Oh, the leaves on the maple trees? Yeah, they come down in winter.
Because then if they don't come down, then I think we would not have any.
Well, that's a whole other topic, and people should check out...
the show notes.
No, not the show notes.
The,
tree expert. An arborist.
Yeah, because...
Completely arbitrary. It's a good podcast about trees. Now, Char, these moths tend to search out sugar, red, or silver maples.
Silver.
This is strange if we... What?
It's like a bright, sparkly cover silver.
You make me laugh. Now, Char, this is strange if we look back at their genus, which means oak caterpillar. But they can be found on turkey oaks, but primarily prefer maple trees.
What is this?
Their fondness for these trees allows them to be found outside of the forest.
It's a kind of animal.
This is a Luna moth animal.
Yeah, and we already did that. A Luna
We did do a Luna moth. People should go listen to that episode too. Yeah. And we'll post a picture of this creation on our Instagram. Yeah, arthropod _adventures _podcast, right?
And because this is an moth, so we have to take a picture because we did it already. So we have to send it to Stephanie.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about this moth, the rosy maple moth, okay?
Ugh.
Now, they can be found on turkey oaks, but primarily prefer maple trees. Their fondness for these trees allows them to be found outside of the forest, wherever they're planted.
You can also find them on logs.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah. Just if you're in the forest.
Okay.
I mean,
And I know we read that section twice, but sometimes it's difficult with a co-host, right? Oh, yeah. Now, that's why...
that
Wisdom what?
show notes.
Yeah. So, Charlie...
Do the show notes at the end.
Yeah.
You don't do it in the middle.
Now, try it. As adults, they have some different color variations. Their bodies can be a fluffy yellow, cream, or white color.
Or creamy.
Yeah.
Like this.
But their accents of antenna and legs tend to be pink.
At thorax, abdomen,
Head.
thorax, abdomen.
Good. And these do have a head, thorax, abdomen when they're adults.
Yeah, but they don't have the 6 legs.
They do have 6 legs because they're insects.
Oh?
Yeah.
Spiders have 8.
Spiders do have 8 legs. They're arachnids.
I guessed it.
You didn't guess it. You know it. We've been learning. So, Charlie, their accents of antennas and legs tend to be pink, which in my opinion creates a beautiful dichotomy.
Is it bright pink or dark?
Well, you tell me. It's bright pink, right? Yeah.
It's like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's not, then it would be like that.
Okay.
This one.
Their wing color will also vary with different amounts of a rosy pink and yellowish cream color to even sometimes just a single color all around.
Even a single color, like blue.
And now when attempting to tell the difference between males and females, there are a few clues you can look at to get help from their bodies to help you identify them. The females have larger wings, with the hind wings being more rounded. Would be the back of them. The males have much larger feathery antennas, which help them come mating time. At their largest, the females are just over 2 inches, which puts them on the smaller side of the Saturnidae family members, which include Arthropod Adventures alumni Luna Moth. So this Luna Moth here is related to the rosy maple moth.
Yeah, because they probably would fight together.
I don't think they'd fight.
They would just walk by each other.
Maybe.
Maybe a little like...
Yeah, exactly like that. Now, Char, mating will occur at night, and the female will then lay her eggs under the leaf of her chosen host plant.
They lay their eggs so they can have babies.
That's why they do it. In the northern parts of North America, the moths will typically only have one brood.
They pupa.
They do pupate. But farther south, where it stays warmer, males and females will mate multiple times.
It's in South Korea.
Once the eggs hatch, about 2 weeks later...
2 weeks later, so that means in the afternoon.
Oh, Charlie.
Don't say that now.
The larvae, or caterpillars, will stay on their host plant and enjoy the leaves and the... I feel like you're a hype man. You're funny. And they will enjoy the leaves of the trees they are on. While they pose no real danger to the trees, depending on the amount of eggs and surviving larvae, they can be more noticeable on entire...
Unnoticeable on the time.
They can be noticeable as entire leaves can be devoured. They feed in groups through their first few moltings, but will eventually branch off into their own.
Branch off into the own.
While in their caterpillar life stage, their color patterns are drastically different. When they first hatch, their bodies are a pale yellow color with a black head. As they go through their instars on their way to adulthood, the pale yellow will develop into green, which is also a reason why they are also known as green.
Is it dark green or like...
It will be both.
What?
Yeah, as they go through instars. And that's why as a caterpillar, they're known as green striped maple worms. Which can be confusing because they're not worms. Worms aren't annelids. They're not insects, right? Now, when the caterpillar is fully grown, its head will be red, and its body will have 7 darker stripes going down its body. Oh my gosh, that's right. There are 2 rows of short spines that go down lengthwise, and a pair of longer horns that appear just past the head. After about a month of eating and growing, the caterpillar is finally ready to enter its final life stage. And Charlie, what comes after caterpillar? Egg, larva,
pupa.
It's ready to pupate.
You like this.
I don't know if that's how it works, but maybe. They will climb down from their host tree when the time is right and dig themselves into the ground. This will give them not only safety from predators while in their pupal stage, but also provide protection from the cold winter months coming if they're up here in the north.
Up here
Yeah.
in Connecticut.
In Connecticut. They will overwinter as pupas, and then once the warmer weather of late spring has arrived, they will emerge as their sherbet, drippy cells. This longer pupa stage takes place in the colder regions, whereas the warmer areas will pupate for a shorter amount of time. While they eat quite a bit as a caterpillar, they do nothing as an adult, Charlie. They don't even have a digestive system or working mouth.
What does that mean?
That means they don't eat anything, and they don't even have like bellies and intestines like us. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Their only job is to procreate and help their species continue.
And some people even like them, and they squish and they step on them.
We should never squish things, right? No. We try not to do that here.
Yeah, but then if they go under, then we have to step over, and then.
No, their main predators are birds, which try to get them. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Their main predators are birds,
Why
which...
did you see this say bleh?
Yeah, because I had a mouth fart thing. I messed up my words. Yeah. So the birds, which they try to trick with their bright colors. You see, bright colors are often used by animals to signal that they are poisonous in some way. And while that is not true in the case of the rosy maple moth, the coloration may aid them in being eaten less.
Bright is like when it's something bright and like it's bright. It's not like dark.
Yeah.
Dark is like when it's like dark out, and then light is like when it's daytime.
Okay. So you might look at their color pattern and think that it would leave them at a disadvantage.
A colored pattern is like when it's a rainbow.
That could be one pattern. But it's not at a disadvantage. Oftentimes it can aid them as this color coincides with the samaras, or the fruit of the red maple.
What's samara?
Do you know those things we stick on your nose from the maple trees in our yard? That's what that is. So the next time you happen to stumble upon their horned caterpillar stage or their sherbet drippy colored adult stage, take a moment to appreciate their beauty and make sure to keep an eye out if you happen to live near an abundance of their host plants.
Check our show notes.
And always check the show notes. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, right, Charlie?
Yeah.
If you have an arthropod that you would love to hear about, want to tell us what you think about the show, or found a mistake, email us at arthropodadventurespodcast@gmail.com. And they can find us on Instagram and Facebook at arthropod_adventures_podcast. And we would love to see pictures of the arthropods in your yard or what you find while on adventures. So thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening.
What do we always say? What's our motto?
Never stop learning.
Stay inquisitive and never stop learning. So, Charlie, the random fact for today is that the Brazilian fleet toad is now recognized not only as the smallest known amphibian in the world, but also the smallest known vertebrate. At less than 1/4 of an inch, it is small enough to sit atop of your pinky nail comfortably. That means people now know that this is the smallest vertebrate that we have found. There could be smaller ones. Science is always finding new stuff.
Yeah, like signs probably could have learned about the baby.
Yeah. All right, so thank you.
Thank you.